Hey, it's Eugene here, and I'm here to discuss how to get leads in the co-working space, shared office space, office rental, office lease. They're all a whole bunch of keywords that get some decent traffic. I've had a business hit me up looking to get leads in the space. They're located in southeast Melbourne. We've had a bit of an initial consultation. They've shared with me their goals and how they want to approach it, and I've shared my feedback. I've done some analysis in the space, and I'm here to share what I feel will be the next step to get leads in the space. Now, this is an absolute startup, no website, no domain maturity, nothing. So we're going to pick up a new domain, we're going to register a Google business listing, hopefully get some reviews flowing through. First things first, we had a look at keyword volumes. How many times a month does a certain keyword get entered into Google? What kind of keywords have a higher buying intent? So it's safe to say that the term co-working space, shared office, co-working space spelt differently with co separate, co-working space Melbourne, co-working space near me, whole bunch of stuff, shared office. And I feel like they're the best keywords to go for initially. But then you have things like boardroom rental, desk rental, hot desking space, and a whole bunch of keywords. In fact, there's thousands of keywords that we can target. Now, when firing up a Google ad campaign, less is more, right? If I'm gonna let my wife go to town with my credit card, I kind of want to give her a budget and limit her to what shops she is or isn't allowed to go to. And by that, if we fire up a Google ad, we want to really heavily restrict Google where they spend our hard-earned money, right? And by that, it's a no-brainer. Is the first ad that should be switched on is just targeting the term co-working space within a 10-mile, 10K, 5K radius of our location. That's how I would begin. Now, I had a look at a few competitors. Jeez, there's some big boys in this space. We've got WeWork, we've got The Commons, we've got lots of competitors, right? This is hectic. This is very competitive. These keywords are going up against, some of these keywords are $50 a click, $30 a click, $70 a click. You can check this by logging into Google AdWords, creating a free account, and clicking on Keyword Planner. Throw in, make sure you limit to Victoria or Sydney, wherever you are, and throw in the keyword. It's fascinating to see the chunk of the pie. How many times a month does that term get entered, and what kind of costs they go through. Now, Google a lot of the time lies when they share these figures. They'll say anything from $3 to $50. Now, what they're really trying to say is, if your website is delivering a bad experience on the landing page to the person visiting, you're going to pay $50. But to someone that has a good experience, if Google trusts the page and people are engaging with the website, they're inquiring on the first click, they're not backing out, they're engaging with it, that click might be $3. I prefer to set worst case scenarios in all of my meetings, and I'll look at the higher number and I'll add a couple of bucks to it. So if Google is saying it's $45 per click, I'll say to the client, maybe 50, maybe 60, because we all got to start somewhere. Now, with time, the cost per click, it both goes down and it goes up. It goes down because Google trusts our website, trusts our landing page. But the reason it might go up is we might change around the keywords as we discover the keywords that truly bring in revenue and profit. And Google will never miss an opportunity to make... My phone's listening to me every time I mention the word Google. Didn't listen to me when I'm yelling because it knows I'm yelling. Back to this co-working space. No brainer. Get a landing page up like a funnel page. Send Google Ads traffic on targeted keywords to that page. Have conversion elements. I strongly recommend a video that gives them the walkthrough of the beautiful space, the facilities. Bonus points if we can get 10, 15, 20 reviews up as quickly as possible. Fresh imagery and a conversion tracking. A capture form that possibly links into some sort of a booking platform. Call tracking so we can see how many calls we're getting. That's all very standard setup with any kind of Google ad. So that's how I would begin getting ads in the space. I deconstructed a few competitors that are currently running ads. I can see exactly the key terms they're targeting. I can see exactly the ads that they're running. There's a tool called Google Ads Transparency Center. Most of the time it shows rubbish. Most of the time it doesn't work. But when you find a big boy like WeWork or the Commons that spent millions, more maybe, on marketing, Google has the data for them. And so the very simple ad is an ad that's simply targeting co-working spaces in Melbourne and Sydney. And the ad copy is simple: office space and co-working. That's it. Book conference rooms near you. Office spaces and co-working, private office spaces, shared. It's exactly the keywords that we want to target. That it's not even much complexity with these ads. Now, a lot of the time clients don't know fully the difference between a Google ad, SEO, and things like LinkedIn ads or Facebook ads. Now, they all are great. They all can work. It's just in some spaces, some work better than others in terms of cost per lead and a more targeted return on investment. And by that, the difference between a Facebook ad and a Google ad is a Facebook ad is intrusive marketing. A LinkedIn ad is intrusive marketing, where we're showing up on their device. They're not looking for ours. We're basically spamming them, and we're really hoping that we can quickly get their attention, and hopefully they do need it, because a Google ad, on the other hand, is reactive marketing. Somebody's looking for it. The intent is, if I'm typing in co-working space near me, I am looking for a co-working space near me, right? So in this particular space, it's a no-brainer to fire up a Google ad first if the goal is inquiries and bookings. Sometimes the goal is pure brand awareness. Hey, the KPI is we just want more people to see us, feel us, know that we are here. And the advice there is no problem. I had a look at, I put a 10-kilometer radius around that location, and I discovered that there were 60,000 devices that were flagged as owners of a business page. So it's a really cool category where you're definitely hitting business owners, because who would be an owner of a Facebook page, right? Generally someone that is running the marketing campaign, like an SEO agency, or the business owner. So the business owner always has to, 99.9% needs to be their ownership. So if you're targeting business owners, it's a no-brainer of a category to hit. Now, I've got very little experience with LinkedIn ads, but gosh, I'm being spammed to death. And everybody that I know, you get a invitation request, and then bang, there's the bot starting to sell me all the things that they want to sell me. There's no, hey, how you going? Give me something about my business to show that you're not a bot. So I have no doubt that there are lots of case studies where LinkedIn ads probably work, but reaching out, reaching out via messages and hitting people up that are simply in the area and are running a business, I think that is, out of the three options, Google ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn messages, that would be the final one, because these are the sort of things, that sort of ideas that this particular business had. So I'll come back to this. They were also interested in paid search and someone that goes to the start a business page of the government website. I can't pixel that website, so I can't really hit that audience. These are all great ideas, but I can't make my ads show up for someone that went to someone else's website and spent time on that website. I can if that was my site and I can pixel it. There was also some additional keywords thrown at us on the terms of office lease and meeting room rentals, which are definitely keywords worth bidding on. But there's right now the list of keywords that are somewhat suitable is probably in the hundreds. And the best thing to do with these campaigns is to start with a tighter amount of key terms. So let's just fire up an ad and burn a couple of grand on just the term co-working space. So I ran some very basic, very conservative numbers. If it's $50 a click, maybe we need 5 clicks for an inquiry. That's what, $250 we're going to spend for one inquiry. But not all inquiries are closed business, so you're going to have to jump on that call instantly. So whoever's receiving that inquiry better jump on that within the first 10 minutes. Now, I used to work at a company, at a call center, and the longer we waited before we called them, before they inquired with us or took out a trial of our software, or even with current client campaigns, I'm seeing that the longer you take to call that person, the less likely they're going to be closed as a business. So if someone gets to them before you, their rate of signing that person up is something like 50% more. So you've got to jump on them straight away, especially if the leads are $250 a lead. Now, let's say you need 2 leads, 3 leads to close a closed deal. Are we looking at $500 for acquisition just from Google Ad spend? Are we looking at $750? So these are the sort of numbers that need to be considered before you fire up such a campaign, because if you don't have enough budget to fuel the Google Ads machine, then there might not be a point to start this in the first place, or we might need to revisit budgeting. And this was an initial consultation. I showed them, I logged into Google Ads in the meeting, and I showed them the keyword costs. There was a few raised eyebrows. Mine also. I didn't expect some of these keywords to be as much as they were. But when you have big boys like WeWork or the Commons and a whole bunch of competitors that spend big on these space, it's expected. In summary, I would lean towards Google Ad initially. I would definitely lean towards local SEO. Since this business is located in an area where there's more warehouses, it's not as dense, there's a good chance that you're going to rank first, second, or third on maps very quickly. I'd say within 6 months to a year, if you build a SEO optimized website, if you get some good Google reviews, if you optimize the Google listing the correct way, if you set up your social accounts and they all link to the listing and really prove to Google that you are a genuine, real business that is taking steps that a business naturally will take, social accounts, Google posts, blogs, talking about the topics, sharing their work. Hey, we just decked out this location, blah, blah, blah. Here is what it's like to work with us. So just growing the brand. They're the things that work with Google these days when you're showing them a trustworthy asset, that you're not there to gain the algorithm. And I'd say within 6 months to 12 months with an SEO campaign, that's a monthly SEO campaign, you could be at the top of Google Maps. I do need to take a look at the competitors. Last time I checked, wasn't that many co-working spaces in those areas. So SEO is definitely up the alley. Look, if this was in the CBD, I'd personally, it's Russian roulette with who gets maps listings in the CBD. And really, it's only the big brands like WeWork show up in the organic results in the CBD. When you drive out a little bit of the CBD, maybe 10 Ks out, you get a bit more chance for the little guy to show up, especially if he's got a business listing, especially if that listing is mature, it's got some reviews. So I'm talking about an SEO campaign and showing up organically. Hope that's been helpful. I will share updates on what we do with this particular campaign. Talk soon.